Lore Bites.
Hi and welcome back to Lore Bite. I originally made a Lore Bite dedicated to Reaper, his history, his story, and then of course the speculation. Overall, it was a pretty straightforward story. Gabriel helps save the world, isn't rewarded in how he believed he should have been, and gets mad about it. After years, he goes bad and destroys Overwatch. Barely surviving that, he comes back as this strange wraith with the prime objective to kill every remaining former Overwatch agent. I remember there were some various reactions to this, upset that the story is too bland. At the time, I believe another YouTuber had made a theory-based video about how Reaper could be potentially a double agent. Despite that, I ignored the theory because I didn't feel like it had much evidence that was strong enough. Since then, a lot of time has actually passed and Blizzard have released more and more information about their world and the lore inside of it. And well, now I'm thinking differently. Overwatch's lore overall had been a straightforward story. The world was thrown into crisis over a big bad enemy, and together the world forms a group of their very best to defeat it. And they do, and then they form Overwatch. Eventually the need for Overwatch wanes and it falls to ruin, and now the world is once again in a rough state and well, it needs that protector once more. That was the vague and general story, right? There was, of course, tons of characters and stories inside of that, but now things are more complicated and, well, much better too. I've noticed a change in the story and how it's becoming something with, well, real value that I find myself invested in. To evidence this, First Strike has been cancelled. First Strike is a graphic novel created to describe the events of the original Omnic Crisis and the creation of Reaper and Soldier 76, that black and white story. To Blizzard, that actually wasn't good enough. They've changed the original story slightly, many times, and now it's actually different at the core that they first envisioned. First Strike was actually being created years ago, and since then, things have changed. To release First Strike would be to contradict many things they've changed and built upon, to have a more interesting story. And so First Strike was cancelled. If you actually want more details about this, you've got to check out my video. It's linked in the description. It covers the whole topic. Now that we have that hard evidence that the story has changed from what it originally was, let's look at the progression of Reaper as a character. Now, Reaper was originally a character out to kill every Overwatch agent remaining, right? Evidenced in the Recall cinematic where he seeks the location of all former agents so that he can hunt them down, using the group known as Talon to help him do it. He was shown as a character who hated his former friends from the very moment he wasn't put in charge. Defeating the Omnic Crisis, Gabriel did expect to be the face and leader of Overwatch, but instead, his friend Jack was made the leader because Jack was less harsh and someone the other heroes would rally behind. He was a friend, where Gabriel was a weapon. In the end, Gabriel was killed at the Swiss headquarters fight that also marked the death for Jack and began it all. Somehow Gabriel came back as Reaper, with his cells altered to decay and also regenerate at a shocking speed. Now known as Reaper, he started hunting the Overwatch agents. But Reaper's actually had multiple chances in the lore that's canon to kill these agents that he's apparently hunting, but he didn't. In the Recall cinematic, he actually has the killing blow right there on Winston, but instead he chooses to drop something heavy on him instead and Winston survives. In the Old Soldiers comic, Reaper sets a trap for Soldier 76, his main target, the man he wants to kill more than anyone. Surprising both Soldier and Reaper, however, Anna Amari too came back from the dead to help Jack. Each learned the other's true identity. Jack was Soldier 76, Anna was the ghost messing with Talon, and of course Reaper was their old friend Gabriel. In this moment, Reaper had the clear upper hand. It was over for both Anna and Jack, and Reaper just leaves. He just flies away. For a guy whose whole purpose is killing Overwatch agents, he doesn't seem to do it much. So that whole thing's pretty questionable, right? But let's jump to another topic quickly. Anna died in the heads of everyone but Anna because they all thought she was killed, but she actually wasn't, after she faced off against Widowmaker. Only Anna was the one who knew Widowmaker was the one who nearly killed her. Gabriel had no idea. So Gabriel working with Widowmaker in the future is fine because he doesn't actually know that it was Widowmaker attacking Anna. That was quite a few years into the life cycle of Overwatch when Anna, quote, died during a mission to save some hostages. You could see the age on Anna's face in these comics, as well as Jack's too. So Overwatch was really deep into its life cycle. After this failed mission, Overwatch went into its free fall and the world began to hate them. Then shortly after, the battle at the Swiss headquarters happened and Overwatch was then destroyed. In this fight at the Swiss HQ, this should have been the moment that Gabriel hated Jack the most. So much that that's actually why he went for the kill, causing them to both supposedly die, right? Now, based on Reaper's actions and potential to be a double agent, I'd like you to consider this. Gabriel could have seen that Overwatch was over. There's no saving it. And as far as he knew, many of his friends were dead and Overwatch was crumbling as well. It just wasn't going to continue and there was no way to stop the fall of Overwatch. But maybe he could find the answer who caused all of this, who ruined Overwatch from behind the scenes, and in fact, who the hell caused the Omnic Crisis to begin with? Going along with whoever was manipulating events, perhaps he fought at the Swiss HQ and forced Overwatch to end, accepting its fate, and originally, maybe Gabriel thought that Talon was the one behind the scenes, causing all of their hardship. But after joining Talon as Reaper, learned very quickly that Talon was being controlled and run by something else, someone else. Shown in the Sombra Origins story are many connections and theories collected over the lifetime of Sombra. One clear distinction is this clear connection between Talon and whoever or whatever this conspiracy is, the one that found Sombra and forced her to go into hiding originally. The perfect group for her to work for to find answers was Talon, the ones working under this group. And here's the truth that no one can argue with. Someone or something caused the original crisis. Someone made that original God program that took over the Omnics. But it's not likely that that was Talon, and everything points to the shady organization, this conspiracy group that Sombra is hunting. So, could it be that Gabriel, or Reaper now, is doing the same? Working with Talon and putting up a front, being this stereotypical bad guy and working as a double agent to find the answers and destroy those who ruined Overwatch, those who threw the world into ruin in the first place. In a way, Reaper is exactly like Soldier 76. They both hunt the past in search of answers to find out who it was that destroyed Overwatch. They were friends in life, allies, even if they don't know it, in death, perhaps. Finally, as a bit of evidence to show that Gabriel didn't hate Overwatch or Jack or its members, I'll refer to the Halloween comic, Dr. Junkenstein. In the comic, we see the early members of Overwatch together to celebrate Halloween, gathered round to tell scary stories. And Reinhardt tells a very silly story about someone named Dr. Junkenstein and his monster. It's lighthearted fun, and it gave Blizzard a great way to introduce some skins and a fun new game mode to enjoy during the event of Halloween. However, let's fly back to the Recall cinematic. Winston overlooks some pictures and some old memories. Pictures of a lost time, his friends. But here, a picture of Mercy and Torbjorn together in some silly outfits. Halloween outfits. The same ones in the comic. The comic, as silly as it was actually canon. Not the silly story that Reinhardt told, no, that wasn't real, right? But the meeting of friends celebrating Halloween to tell the stories, that was real. That happened. But who took the pictures? Well, it was Anna, as you can see. She's there throughout the whole comic taking pictures. Eventually, these pictures would be kept by Winston to look back on during the Recall cinematic. Then we can see that this took place during the early days of Overwatch after Jack was named leader and Anna second in command, because McCree is young and has just joined, working under Gabriel for Blackwatch. And it's actually the members that are the original members of the official Overwatch team. I don't mean the original 6, but Overwatch's first real members when Overwatch became known as Overwatch. Then, towards the end, Gabriel slams in to scare Reinhardt, and have a look at Gabriel's face here. This is supposed to be, according to the law, the straightforward law, this is where Gabriel would hate his friends, feeling like they disregarded him and don't value him, and he feels betrayed and is growing this hatred for them. But I ask you, look at him. He doesn't look like he hates them. He looks happy. He looks calm. He even made this crazy outfit showing that he was really dedicated to their friendship. Damn, that's crunchy. Okay, so that's kind of everything I put together with hard evidence and little things that point towards Reaper maybe not being the bad guy we thought he was. It's all up in the air and it's majorly speculation, right? But I'm basing it on things we know. But as always, after we see the damn that's crunchy part, it's time for some real speculation. To me, Gabriel is part of the team as much as he ever was. But we were led to believe that he hated them at that time, right? And I've come to feel that Gabriel never actually did hate them. Soldier 76's life goal is to find the one who destroyed Overwatch and ruin them, and he wants revenge. And what of Reaper? I think that's exactly what he wants to do too. They may even actually be working together. What if this explosion that happened at the Swiss headquarters was actually Gabriel and Jack working together to accept that someone was manipulating them and they needed to make it look like Overwatch was done and make it look like they hated each other? They both miraculously survived? Come on. I mean, you look at their characters and the similarities in the way they act and the choices they make. They're similar in life, like I said, and similar in death, even though they both have changed. And who caused the final ending of Overwatch? It was Jack and Gabriel who blew up the Swiss headquarters. We're led to believe it's because they were fighting each other, but again, what if they were working together? Either way, I really hope and think that Reaper might be a double agent, hunting that big, nameless foe. And we're slowly learning more and more about this nameless foe, this Illuminati type deal. The original creator of the Omnic Crisis and the God Program, that really seems to be this Illuminati conspiracy group that Sombra encountered. So whether the speculation is correct or not, whether Reaper is a double agent or not, I just really hope that it is, because it's way more interesting than his original storyline. Do let me know what you guys think about this. Tell me in the comments. Do you think it's true? Do you have any information and theories that might help support this? Or do you go the other way and maybe you think Reaper really is just as black and white as he was originally presented? I really believe that that was the original story of Reaper, but Blizzard, just like with their cancellation of First Strike, changed their minds and realized they wanted more, that the story could be better than they first thought. Again, I really hope that's the case, but I'm really looking forward to seeing what your thoughts on all of this are. So thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed today's Lore Bite, and I will see you next time.